In the swamps of Evrima, something stirs. Fast on its feet, nimble, and with a ferocious appetite, he takes no prisoners. This is the Butcher of Swamps. This is a prime Austroraptor. Austroraptor, in my opinion, is a nice blend of Pteranodon and Omniraptor gameplay. Like the bigger raptor in the game, we have a normal bite with left mouse button and a pounce attack with right mouse button. However, from what I can see, we cannot select the damage type we want, that being bleed or raw damage, with the left and right mouse buttons once you've pounced on a target. It's more like Aloe, in the respect that your pounce is your pounce. It does what it does, and that's that. The exciting bit for me is the ability to spearfish clams and fish. That's free A diet, so we shouldn't starve, and we should never get the condition that ruins prime runs, which is running out of diets. From what I can tell, you don't need to hit the clams on the rocks either. You just eat them whole. It's great. In this video, you're going to see how I got a prime Austroraptor, the do's and don'ts, and hopefully it helps you get your first Austro Prime too. We start off in swamps, quickly making a beeline to the sanctuary. However, an unwelcome surprise awaits us as we enter. A pack of Allosaurus feasting on their latest catch and openly talking in chat. I am out of there. Ain't no way I'm hanging around to find out how many they are or to see if they've even seen them.
I ran for my life and then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
The best plan now is to head west to what I call the lagoon, hit that migration zone, and then steer through to South Plains. Go up towards West Rail, teeter into the edge of West Rail to hit that migration zone as well, as it is riddled with Dilophosaurus, raptors, carnos, none of that. I don't want to go anywhere near it. I want to hit the migration zone and get the hell out of there. I'm a little duck after all. We're not staying around to fight big Dilo packs. Once we're at South Plains, I wanted to try and avoid as many people as possible. We are still tiny, and I'm pretty sure my bite force was like 10 or something. We are a great meal for anyone who is even slightly grown and eats meat. With echoes of dinosaurs in the distance, I made the quick decision to risk meeting a croc in the salt river that now flows through South Plains. Dance with fate and a swim unscathed. However, shortly after crossing, some stomps are heard up ahead. Have they spotted me? Yes, they have. And they are angry. I quickly darted back in the water. It was my only safety, and I pedaled it downstream to the other side of the mangroves where we'd break line of sight. Upon checking the Valona map and seeing myself inside the green migration zone, I ran straight back into South Plains, where I was greeted with a gift, a dead Hipsy in the water in the middle of the salt river. Now this was either croc bait or a free meal. Turns out it was neither. It was completely bugged, with my stomach extremely low and on the edge of death. But again, I had to spearfish. So I retreated back to the safety of my mangroves, where I spearfished multiple times in order to just fill up my stomach enough to maybe go back into South Plains or swamps and find a bigger meal, where I ran into a friend, SR86, a complete stranger at the start of this video and someone who I'd like to call a friend by the end of it. He was also trying to get prime, but he was bigger than me, a great ally to help with hunts. We both needed perfect diet, so we headed along the beach line looking for fresh spawns. After killing an aloe and getting some of its organs, we heard a small ruckus up ahead on top of the hill. Placing myself in a strategic bush, I noticed two more small aloes running across the grassland. This was quite an easy fight, but it was the first real fight that I'd had. So I tested the pin. Yep, it works. Perfect diet for both of us, and more food to stock up with this ever faster burning stomach. It wasn't long before the corpses started gaining some unwanted attention from the locals, and that is when we spotted these. A pair of Carnotaurus were fighting a small ceratopsian, an easy meal. Like in my prime pteranodon video, if you hunt the hunter, they rarely suspect a thing. This Carno had no chance as I ran him down. His organs would top up my dwindling stomach. After killing off the rest of the fresh spawns, we decided that our fate would be determined in swamps. Who knows? We could find a decent sized croc, or at worst, just feed on all the fresh spawns constantly flocking to the swamp sanctuary. Hey you! You like dinosaurs, right? Well, buckle up. Like the video, save it for later, and subscribe too while you're down there, because there's plenty more where this came from. Let's get back to the video. On our way back, the server crashed. Upon rejoining, I had a bit of a predicament. My water had drained completely. The only water around me was salt water. Time to run. Almost like my life depended on. The awesome thing about Austro that I've noticed is it seems to pant when you burn stamina for a long period of time. It's a really nice bit of audio design, I really like it, and it's a great touch. Well done Dondi and the team. Once my eyes gazed upon the beautiful waters of West Swamps, the most horrendous storm came rolling in. I mean, look at this hurricane. Like true ducks, we found shelter on the water by the mangroves. The hurricane still roared overhead as we scouted the area of swamps. It wasn't long until we found what we'd been looking for, a nice flat area near the sanctuary, with drinkable water, but no ambush spots, with big crocs that could sneak up on us. Our ears perked up to a fight brewing on land next to the sanctuary. What appeared from the hilltop was not what I expected at all. It's a speedy phase T-Rex, easily 3 hours or more into his grow. This would be a great kill, and a real test on how Austro performs against bigger targets. Before I could lock on properly to the Rex and his kill, SR86 jumped headfirst into the water. A fresh spawn croc was trying to run into the sand and took a wrong turn, getting caught in the puddle instead of the river next to it. The last mistake of his life. Filling up our stomachs slightly, we turned our attention to the Rex. A chase ensues. I get off a great pounce, but the Rex is just slightly faster than me. We're going to have to play this smart. Outflank, maneuver, and attempt to pin. I bank around the mud mounds, and another great cut into the Rex. I'm hot on his heels, but I stop because I'm trying to get his footprints in case I lose sight of him. But none seem to be spawning, and with that mistake, we lose the Rex for the first time. Annoyed and out of stamina, we regroup. I scavenge around for any scraps I can find. I'm running hypermetabolics, so I don't really want a full stomach, but it's very risky to have it this low. The small Hypsilodon that the Rex ran down, that'll do. And then a small Omniraptor darts out in front of me, and I give chase. But alas, the nimble little raptor was too quick at turning for me to land my blows. Then SR tries to spearfish when the Rex comes hurtling back towards him, landing a blow and darting off. We chase him again. Another great pounce, but with every claw and bite, my stamina depletes. Suddenly, SR lines up a great run. Then, tragedy. In all the commotion, SR hadn't told me he was on red hunger. He starved to death, moments away from pouncing the Rex that could potentially have earned us a hearty meal. TheIsle gives, and she takes away. This fight was lost. I was out of stamina and he was dead. I retreated to a bush to say goodbye to the fallen and sign off on this Austro's journey. However, the next day presented a great opportunity. While standing in the shallow water, a small Herrera rushed past me. I made quick work of him and decided to use his bones as bait for any crocs coming to sank. Before I could lay the trap properly, I heard some splashing across the river. It was a baby stego. Don't mind if I do. My stomach could do with a little filling up. My pounce bugged out the first time and got a great hit to my head. I wasn't letting that happen again. Before you know it, my call was answered. but it wasn't a fresh spawn. A challenger, I'll accept. After some back and forth, I landed one good pounce and a great bite to his head. Alas, the Isle God gives and it takes away, because my second pounce was ruined, and he got a great alt bite to my head and onto my legs. This immediately put me down to 4th or even 5th screen, and wounded. Maybe I bit off a bit more than I could chew. If SR was with me, we could have been definitely enough weight between us to pin this guy, and that would have been game over for him. But alas no, this is where my Austro's story ends. Sitting in a bush for 40 minutes, healing, before logging off again. My main build for Austro was to avoid damage from bigger playables and maximise my damage output. So my first mutation was congenital hypoalgesia. Next up we had hypermetabolic inanition to get that extra damage when times are tough, and then in order to aid with times like this, I took photosynthetic tissue for faster regen during the day to get back to playing as soon as I could. And finally, my prime mutation, efficient digestion, because by God, I would not follow the same fate as SR86. Rest in peace, brother. You will be missed. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to merge a story into the guide this time to see how it fares. If you like this, you should go check out my Pteranodon Prime guide. I've been told it's pretty good.